I think there's going to be a quick video, and then we're going to be going straight into MajOr versus Lilbow. So guys, don't go far, and we'll be into Catalina in a quick moment.
Team Gravity presents Fight Night.
Y'all ready for this?
Alright guys, so welcome back to Team Gravity's Fight Night, our final series of the night. A best of 7 between Lilbow and MajOr. We're spawning in the left-hand corner of the map, or left-hand side of the map, rather. On Catalina, we have the red Terran player. It is MajOr.
In the bottom right of Catalina, we've got our blue Protoss player. Playing for Millennium, right? And Baguette, I don't know. It's Lilbow.
Yeah, Baguette, man. Baguette's ace, Millennium, strong player for Millennium. Yeah, and Lilbow has a pretty sick record against MajOr, actually. I'm pretty sure he's 5-0 in the last 5 games they've played, in like the past month or something. I'm gonna quickly check
Lilbow
it.
is also
He's pretty good.
really strong. Yeah, it's a hard opponent. But so is MajOr, so...
Lilbow beat Judge the other day as well in Team League. That's pretty strong. He beat MajOr 3-0 in, I think it was my StarCraft Arena at the end of January, and he just beat him 2-0 earlier today in the Lycan League. So it's
damn, that's impressive actually.
So yeah,
it's good.
MajOr maybe not so confident heading into this one.
Yeah, it's possible.
But yeah, Catalina to start us off. I imagine Lilbow's going to do something very aggressive here because, I mean, we talked about it a little bit in the ZBT just previously, but Catalina's a great map for Terran, just in general.
Yeah.
And I think more so in TVP, because the drop play really does become an issue. The third base becomes an issue. And I mean, 4 bases aren't actually, you know, despite the 4 base layout being kind of okay for most races here, I think it's kind of sucky for Protoss, because it's actually kind of far away, and, you know, you've got one base kind of next to your main, so, you know, drops can just jump between them and then have a drop coming into the left side as well or something. It's really annoying to deal with. You really have to be on top of your game.
Yeah, in these positions, I'd imagine if it would come to that point, which I don't picture it will, but Lilbow would probably want to take like the left-hand side 4th base to kind of try to get kind of a pocket of bases to make it a bit easier to solidify the position, but you know, you'd be expanding kind of towards the Terran, so it's not a fun position for the Protoss. So yeah, and I mean, like you said, I mean, Protoss, they don't have mutas, right? So it's even more tricky unless you go for Phoenix or something like that to deal with drops, because there's so much dead space on this map and lots of potential for Doom drops and things like that. So it's pretty tricky. Just looking at MajOr's gas real quick, he's actually still mining gas, so it looks like he's going to be going for some sort of medivac play in the early game. With the fast factory here.
There's actually a fairly fast second gas for Lilbow as well, and that's something which MajOr has spotted with that Reaper, so he knows about that, and there is a Stargate on the way down, and I think that Reaper should be able to spot this. Depends how far he wants to commit. Not quite yet. I won't want to commit right now because he took a few shots from that mothership core, but I imagine he will manage to scout this. But it's a pretty fast Stargate into an expand from Lilbow, so fast Oracle.
Yeah.
Put on some pressure. It could be really good against this opening from MajOr. Depends if he loses the Oracle to like a hidden mine or something, more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, so that gas was before the expansion, I guess?
Yeah, it was...
It looks like it was like a 19 gas or something like that, something weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna be going for the fast Oracle. Yeah, this could be good. I mean, like I said, MajOr has not seen this still. And that's a pretty big problem, you know, if you're going to get those Widowmine shots, you got to actually expect the Oracle unless there's some Star Sense going on. I don't imagine there being a Widowmine buried in place for the Oracle, so this could get nasty. Kind of depends, I guess, if the Widowmines are out or not. Like, if he hasn't actually loaded up the Widowmines into the Medivac yet, and they're at home, he shouldn't lose too many SCVs. And this Oracle is pretty fast, so I guess there will be a Widowmine ready to burrow, but he could lose at least like 8 SCVs to this, or like 6 maybe. I don't know.
I think the problem is because the first Widowmine is not going to be in position, Lilbow is going to see any Widowmine moving towards him, and so he's never going to lose an Oracle to the Widowmine. So this first Oracle is going to get at least 5 SCVs, if not a little bit more, and there he sees it. He might just try and kill off. No, he's just going to go straight for the SCVs, and I think that's the right decision here, really. MajOr drops the Mule out of position too, which is not ideal. He's going to get down. He's going to get to the natural. Yeah, Marines are there. So Marines keeping the SCVs alive, and only okay, it was 5 kills in the end then. So 5 kills. Oracle gets out, and of course he's aware that there's mines out and there's a 1-1-1 build. So I mean, it's a great scout for Lilbow, who actually goes into a second Oracle as well right now.
Oh, I was kind of interested to see if he's going to go for a Phoenix maybe, but this second Oracle does make a lot of sense, and that's because this first Oracle doesn't have energy for Envision yet, so to get detection, before the Robo makes a lot of sense. Maybe he'll make a Phoenix after the Oracle, or maybe he'll just rely on Stalkers and Envision alone.
I was really thinking about the Phoenix as well, because it's such a great unit to have against just the drop play in general, because you can turn away the early medevac, you can pick up the early mines. We actually see 2 extra gateways come in here for Lilbow. Is that his... Okay, that's just his... okay, he's on 3 gateways in total. He actually has these mines burrow. 2 workers killed, nothing too major, and they're both going to go down. So Major not really getting any damage with this. Nice clean up by Lilbow. And yeah, he's going up to 4 gateways here very quickly, which I think means he's going to just try and bust Major down on 2 bases very quickly. Pylon's already in position. Voidray on the way to back this up as well. So this is looking really good, especially with them first 2 mines being dealt with and gone. They're not going to be there defensively, and they're not going to be offensive anymore either, really. So this is really nice for Lilbow. This is going to be tough for Mage. He's got a bunker on the way. He's got a second one too, so depends how fast the attack is. More gateways.
Oh, he did actually see all the gateways, so I guess he actually knows what's up when he actually checked the fog of war. Checked what he had scouted, he realized what's going on, makes those bunkers just in time. The wood mine is there as well. There's a Voidray on the way though, and there should be an Envision here soon too. Okay, Voidray's out now.
I think
he's gonna wait for it. I don't know.
He didn't see a 4th gas as well, which could have definitely helped him kind of figuring this out as well. This isn't good.
Oh, Sentry goes down there. Wow, that was a really good shot. Oh, that's a big deal. There's gonna be not so many. Yeah, he's gonna leave because there's not enough force fields to actually stop the SCVs from repairing those bunkers. So he realized that's not gonna work.
And from here, I mean, what do you do? I mean, you've got a Voidray, which is... Did he cancel Voidray? No, it's out. So I mean, he's got a Voidray, which is basically useless. Yeah, he backs off into basically no tech. He's got a couple oracles, but his Robo facility is very late, so Robo Bay will be very late. And he starts up a Phoenix as well, and I think he might just go into Phoenix's far side just to try and, kind of something a little bit gimmicky, just to try and maybe pull himself back into this, because he's definitely behind right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many, if he just goes for like the 1 Phoenix to kind of just have that threat
just shut down drops.
To kind of prevent drops, kind of scare him from dropping at all maybe, or if he's going to go up to like 5 or even more than that, like you said, Colossus, Vikings. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes with this.
There's a second Robo facility.
Oh, where's the Robo Bay? Okay, there's a Robo Bay. I was like, if there's no Robo Bay, I'd be No.
So he makes another Phoenix. I don't think he can afford double Colossus Phoenix on 2 base at all. Like, he just doesn't have enough gas for that. So I don't really understand what he's doing. Like, the Phoenix makes sense because he doesn't have Blink as he usually would to help against the the drops, etc. So it makes sense to make a couple Phoenix, but a second Robo facility, he just doesn't have the money. I'm like convinced he doesn't.
Yeah, I think he's actually loses. Oh, no, that's not good. that's not good at all for Lilbow, losing those 2 oracles. So he just plays the 3rd base down, looking at the pro count 51. So he's gonna be going for the macro game. I think it's pretty normal to not go for a forge, or if you do, you don't really get focus that much on upgrades as the Protoss player when you're going for heavy Colossi Phoenix style. So I think that's normal, not going for the forge and just try to get 1 good fight later. But like I said, he's not going to be able to afford those Phoenix. So I think when those robos are finished, as we see now, he's just going to cut Phoenix for now until he has like 3 base economy and just focus on the Colossi now and make summons.
He basically has to, but I mean, he's kind of just doing a little bit of everything, and so he's not really going to have anything to fight. I mean, I don't really think 2 Colossi without a Thermal Lance are actually scary against this, or actually, make this Bio Army scared enough to kind of turn away. I mean, I think they can split and maybe take the fight. I don't know, there's a lot of gateway units though, so... Major's still in a good position, starting his own 3rd base. He's making Vikings as well, 2nd starport. Everything's looking good for him.
3rd bases are... I mean, the 3rd base for Lilbow actually finishes before that of MajOr, and I have... Ooh, actually, was that 1 Phoenix dying, or was it more? I don't think any
it was both.
He only made 2? Okay, yeah. So that kind of sucks, actually.
So it's yeah, because it is his anti-drop defense, right? It is his drop defense right now, his then 2 Phoenix, or it was. So,
Yeah.
but the problem for MajOr is he doesn't know that there's more Phoenix just waiting for him, like maybe sitting to the side, so he's still a little bit scared to do anything, I think. There's actually
Yeah.
a mine in the mineral line as well of Lilbow, which has got 10 kills? When did that happen?
Wow, look at there's only 8 probes mining minerals right now. He must have been trying to kill the mine with the probes or something, man. That's big. And he's gonna get another shot off. Okay, no,
right,
that was
so
close.
that's just saving the day. But I mean, he's about to hit 4 Colossi with a 5th one on the way. A 6th one probably going to start up soon as well. He goes back into Phoenix production, so I mean, he wants to try and go Phoenix Colossi, but usually it's the other way around. Usually, if you play Phoenix Colossi, you play double Stargate because you want to make like 20 plus Phoenix, and you play just single Robo. But this is kind of the other way around, and I think it's just kind of the surprise factor more than anything because only just now MajOr realizes there's like 5 Colossi to deal with on the map.
It's a lot of Colossi. Losing those 2 Phoenix earlier is, I mean, at least that would be some buffer in the fight. So he doesn't have that much buffer now, but yeah, this is a pretty scary force, and as you said earlier, Lilbow's tech hasn't really been in the greatest shape in the early to mid game, but neither has MajOr's, to be honest. His upgrades aren't that great, his Viking count isn't that high, so this could get tricky for MajOr.
Oracles are nice here, but without Blink, it's kind of hard to pick away at these Vikings as you usually would. So far, Lilbow's doing a good job. He's picking off a little bit here and there, and he's going to start taking down these Vikings once again, and so many Vikings are falling before these Colossi take any damage at all, really. I mean, they're just scanning. But he's dropped significantly in supply already, and you just have 4 Vikings being made at a time, but look at this. 4 Zealots just towards the 3rd base, and he's just zoning out the army, so the army can't get over there to help it out. To help out those SCVs, so that's the 3rd base shut down completely here by Lilbow, and he's worked this really well.
Yeah, this is looking great for Lilbow. There's just not enough Vikings, and Lilbow has been controlling his army well, putting the Colossi back, he's finding those Vikings, and there's not enough right now to deal with 4 Colossi, so there's going to be so much splash going down before the Colossi are going to die off to the Vikings, so you could just probably go for it here with some boost skills. While the Marines in the front as well, they're going to die.
Yeah, they're dying fast with the Vikings. Did a pretty good job. The first Colossus fell quite quickly, and some Marauders are closing the distance as well, so all of a sudden the Colossi go down, and...
What?
So
man.
what I think it is there's 1-1 for MajOr, right? And I think the problem is if he has a concave, like that army just isn't strong at all because the Colossi don't do enough. And he was kind of clumped on top of his ramp, but he is still in enough of like I think it would have been way better for Lilbow to just sit at the bottom of the ramp there because he has so much time where MajOr can't really move down. And he doesn't have a 3rd base mining anymore, and Lilbow can just maybe, build up a couple more Colossi or tech into Templar or something, or even put down a Forge. I think going up the ramp was... I think he didn't realize quite how okay of a position he was in, actually. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
he did. The concave was a really big deal there. Yeah, I kind of feel like also, he could have sat at the natural, but maybe just go with everything up to the 3rd, force field off the 3rd, focus fire the 3rd down, and then kind of try and retreat, like something like that maybe to just cripple MajOr's economy, having his own 3rd, and then just make more Colossi at home. Because yeah, he was looking good, and then like the Stalkers weren't able to do any damage, and the spread of MajOr was good. Some extra Vikings popped out just before the fight, and that was just enough. The upgrades as well, of course, helped.
Yeah, there was just nothing to tank really. Oh, we're back on EU by the way.
All right, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's one of them things. It's kind of a weird situation, and you don't really see it all too often, so it's kind of hard to judge, I guess. But it's just one of those. I think that as well, there just wasn't quite enough Zealots to really tank, and without Charge, without Blink, without those combined, the Zealots are all melted before they reached the front line. So yeah, there's kind of a lack of damage, I guess, there as well. Looks though getting set to go into game number 2. It's going to be Deadwing, which is a very different map to Catalina, a much larger map. And we'll see what spawns we're going to get here to get into this.
It's going to play a pretty big part in terms of how the game plays out.
Deadwing's another map where I actually think drop play is quite strong. Because you can come in towards the, there's so much space towards the main, in the main, and there's so much dead airspace as well. And the natural, that you can drop straight into the mineral line on the natural as well. So it's another nice map for drops, but of course the other problem is the problem on Deadwing for Terran players, which isn't there on Catalina, is 4 bases for Protoss is basically free. You know, there's no,
Yeah.
you don't really have to stretch too far to get up to 4 bases. All you have to do is defend the drops. So, Lilbow should be in a, you know, he should be quite happy with this, especially in cross spawns. I think because it really limits kind of the pushing power of Major, which is again isn't so strong in TVP as it is in TVC, but it's still kind of a big factor of it. So we'll see what happens. Spawning in the lower right hand corner, we do have Major, the blue Terran player.
And the top left of Deadwind got our red Protoss player. Playing for Team Millennium, it is Lilbow.
Is indeed. Yeah, I mean, Lilbow's just got better and better lately. I can't remember, like, he just kind of came from, I don't want to say nowhere, but he came very much so from being kind of an online player who you saw doing well in Go for SC2s to kind of doing, you know, really well on, like, kind of in a couple of tournaments as well. In, like, a couple of the large online tournaments, like a couple of base trade tournaments and stuff like that. He just missed getting into WCS Premier. But he played against Showtime, and I mean, PvP, Showtime's pretty damn good as well, so...
Yeah, Showtime is really good, but yeah, that's very surprising, actually, that he didn't make that. But yeah, he's really good, and for, I mean, for those of us who play the GM ladder, Lilbow has been really good for quite a while now, and it just kind of takes a while to really get the chance to show what you're made of, but you know, thankfully lately he's been able to show how good he really is in a few tournaments, and he's he's super scary, man. No one really wants to play this guy in a tournament. He's a very difficult opponent to come up against. So I'd imagine you know, he has every chance here to, you know, to get back into this series. It's only 1 game down.
Yeah, it's a best of 7 as well, of course. So we've got a way to go as Command Center first comes out of Major, and it looks as though he's just going to be out in 2 racks, as is expected pretty much from this build. So I mean, this is definitely something you can do in TVP on larger maps, especially.
Yeah.
And there's nothing really that Lilbow can do to punish it, because I mean, he's only on 1 gas right now. You know, he's using Chrono Boost on probes and whatever, so there's really nothing he can do to punish this. He's making a Zealot, but he's probably going to cancel that. He may... I mean, especially cross spawns, he's not going to be able to get across the map in time to do anything significant, so he's just going to cancel that, put down his Nexus, and yeah, at least I think he is. He hides that probe though, so he wants to make sure that Major doesn't know he scouted it. But the Zealot does get cancelled, and there's that Nexus and a second gas.
Yeah, that's a normal opener from Lilbow so far. Of course, not opening for the Reaper. What you do lose is scouting potential, so you might want to throw down a scan later on to kind of compensate for not having that Reaper, which you might have done anyway, but you know, maybe even 1 or 2 scans. I guess 2 scans is kind of stretching it, but he is going to be in the blind for now. He doesn't really know anything so far, since he did scout the wrong base first. I
think the great thing about CC first is you can really prepare for anything. You have enough Marines to prepare for an Oracle.
Yeah.
You can afford a scan on the natural to scout the gases, and you can see whether he's going to, you know, 2-base Blinky or something, basically from that natural scan if you see the gases, or you can at least tell if it's going to be 2-base or not. So that's pretty important as Lilbow. Just turning around an SCV here. Now SCV scouted the Nexus, so at least he knows it's not 1-base, and I mean, you know, we barely actually ever see 1-base Protoss anymore. So no real surprise there. And the 3rd rack's on the way for Major. Yet to take his gas, though, which he should be taking in the next few moments, unless he wants to really just go greedy as anything and just put down a 3rd CC. Which, I mean, is possible as well, and I think he will. Oh, no, there's gases.
Yeah, I think he's going to place the gases, because I think he just doesn't want to slow down the Marine production, because he's kind of limited on money there for a short while, so he just wants to make sure he's always producing from the barracks, and then when he has his spare money, he gets those gases down. I do like that he's going for 3 racks. You know, you can go 2 racks into 2 gas for faster medivacs or faster upgrades, things like that. But going for the 3 racks, especially after opening CC first, you just get more units, right? So kind of what you talked about earlier. If your opponent wants to go for, something like this, I was going to say something like Blink, maybe. You know, it's really good to have 3 barracks production, but even against this as well, having those 3 barracks is going to help out a lot. But he will need a bunker, like I kind of mentioned earlier. No Reaper means limited scouting, so unless he scans, it's going to be hard for him to kind of figure out what's going on. And he does actually have a bunker international, you can see that, but...
I mean... Yeah, I mean, it's actually probably one of the best builds. If you want to be aggressive, I think this is probably one of the best builds to do against the CC first, because hits quick. It hits before a scan, or I mean, if he wants to scan it, it should be in the next
Yeah.
30 seconds or so. So he'd
Yeah.
more or less see it as it's about to hit him, which is a little bit too late to respond. But as you can see right now, I mean, the units are split up all over the place. There's only one bunker. He has no idea this is coming towards him at all, and a couple of marauders being made. Now he has on a second bunker. Did the SCV
SCV scout right now
yeah,
with an
okay.
actual sees no gas cell, so he should already be throwing down. Yeah, he does throw down 2 more bunkers, 3 more bunkers here. So
Yeah, he
nice
knows what's
there by that SCV to get this information. He
Yeah, that SCV scout is huge here, but I'm not sure if... I mean, he's getting some more sentries. I mean, oh, wow, okay. 4 sentries just arrived. He's got a lot of sentries. He's got a lot of force fields. And there's no stim, there's no combat shields or anything for a long time. He's going to get here before these front 2 bunkers finish. And this is going to be pretty huge. So here we go. Let's see what happens. I think he should just force field off the units. And yeah, there we go. Force field them off and stops the bunkers coming up, which means he can be aggressive for a lot longer here at the front.
good pullback though by MajOr, making sure nothing gets caught by those force fields. At least keeps everything alive for now. And the bunkers do finish down on the left side. Oh, good time war. That's 1 force field, 2 force fields left.
I mean, there's still these bunkers kind of being really annoying to the left, and a lot of the sentries are dying, and with 3 racks production, he's got, a fair amount of units coming down. If he'd gone 2 racks in tech, like you mentioned earlier, this could be a little bit more troublesome for Lilbow, who actually finds a really sweet little corner here to be annoying with. He actually is in range of the combat shields built in barracks, so that's kind of annoying. But I think MajOr's happy to just sit back and let Stim finish and see what happens. Force field's coming down though, and a lot of his army getting trapped with those on the way in here to try and tank. No, nice force field here from Lilbow. Is it going to be enough to break through? I think it very well maybe, because there's not really any units left anymore. He just goes up the ramp into the main, where there really isn't anything.
Yeah, there's not much at all. It's only 3 Marines in that bunker, 4 Marines in the natural. Good to get pulled here. He's gonna get a bit of a surrounder, pulling all the SCVs. He's gonna lose a lot of them, but
well, I mean, it's
gonna be enough.
It's not enough. No. For a moment or 2, it looked as though it might have been, but then yeah, it just wasn't quite. It takes too long to get through the Zealots, I think, without stim and stuff. GG. So Lilbow actually plays that kind of nice in the end.
Yeah.
Has a strategy planned out. Looked kind of dangerous. I think MajOr was literally like, send that SCV scout in 5-10 seconds earlier. Sees the same thing. Bunkers come up 5-10 seconds earlier. The initial push is a lot easier to hold, and all of a sudden you're in a massively better position. So yeah, going back to NA. I think you just love server hopping.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The timing of the SCV scout kind of a bit too late there. Kind of a cool decision by Lilbow to go through the rocks, just to kind of avoid that first bunker. Gave him a lot more potential to catch some units there before the bunker's finished. So.
I wonder if it would have been worthwhile for him to just try and look at the front though and see if there's any bunkers there. Because
yeah, I mean, in this case, it would hurt him because he would have killed the rocks at a later time, and those bunkers on the side might have been finished already. But yeah,
but I mean,
kind of makes sense
you can
to
hit
check
that.
if there's one bunker at all. Yeah.
I just wonder if he went straight for the bunker, he maybe could have killed that first one and just brute forced his way through the front straight away, like a lot sooner. But I think the rocks are maybe as you say, the safer option.
Yeah.
It just depends though. I'm not too sure.
Maybe it just kind of times out with the build in terms of you want a lot of buffer for the sentries, and you also want a lot of sentries for a lot of force fields. So maybe the time which he attacked when the rocks went down was kind of the attack he would have, or the timing he would have used anyway, because he wants a lot of force fields and a lot of sellouts.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually
as well.
Yeah, I think after one warp in, you either have one or the other, right? You either have the sentries or you have the zealots, and you do need both. Otherwise, you just kind of, it just doesn't quite work. So we're going into Varney Research Station for game number 3. Kind of the map of proxies right now. We see so many proxies on this map. It's kind of insane. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Do you really
Yeah, you see so much in like TVs and stuff, especially. You don't think you get proxy to racks to loads and replay proxies and everything.
A few times.
I guess it's mostly just Terran players, but like 888s are really popular in TVT on this map and stuff like that. Right. 2-Racks Reaper on this map too. Because again, it's a great map with surface area on the main base to play with Reapers on and stuff. And of course, I don't know what it is. I think it's just there's a lot of possible places to hide the 2-Racks because it's so narrow. So it's actually kind of hard to spot. But of course, it's very predictable, so you can scout it as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, let's introduce our players. On the south side of the map, we do have a red Terran player who's currently he's teamless right now, isn't he?
Yes. Yes.
He just left route. So yeah, he is Major in the south side, currently teamless, the red Terran player.
On the top side of Mana Research Station, we've got our blue Protoss player tying it up 1-1, playing for Team Millennium. It is Lilbow. So no AJJ. So gonna take a look at the SCV count now to see the barracks timing. Maybe he would want to go for like 11-11 like in TVC, but nope, he's gonna be going for that 12 SCV before the barracks. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Is he just like, gaming right now? No, he's making a barracks. Okay, he's just gunning for proxy. Okay,
yeah. I was slightly confused for a couple of moments there as well. But yeah, so it's just scan for the proxy, and again, I think proxy 2 gates and stuff are for whatever reason they just seem to be popular on this map. I think as well, like the in-base expansion. Kind of a lot of people want to kind of CC first or so because they think it's easy to hold and stuff like that. So just being safe here, but it's going to be standard openings for both players in the end. It would seem. Probe Sky even coming across the map a little bit right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be having a look at the gases of Lilbow, because in that game 1, right, you went for that kind of 19 gas before the expansion.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this is the kind of map Lilbow would not want to go for something like that, because that third base is so easy to take for the Protoss.
Yeah, definitely.
So I wouldn't be surprised if you went for the macro game here. But
this is actually,
it is a possibility.
I think it's a really bad map for Oracles as well, because you've got to kind of fly over the command center or so to get in towards the mineral line. And, there's some dead airspace behind, but it's kind of, you can definitely get yourself trapped if you're not careful. You really have to commit quite far in, so... I think just a standard opening, no Oracle or anything, just straight into Robo Facility, or maybe just straight into Twilight Council to get a Blink opening, something like that. We're going to see the Nexus come down here in a moment, and Lilbow, standard expansion, and we'll start Overshift Core and whatever else will gate after this as well, so yeah, there's the CC coming down as well.
Yeah, and Major going for the reactor, and he's still mining gas on this refinery also, just like in last game where he went for that Woodmine drop. Looks like he's gonna be going for a similar thing at least. Could he has the option to go for Hellions also, things like that. We'll see exactly where he gets 2 probes for 1 SCV, so it's not bad.
That was really nice. Always nice to do a little bit of early damage if you can, and yeah, I mean, the thing is, on map 1, Catalina, this build really did get shut down quite hard by Lilbow. It was Lilbow's follow-up which lost him the game, because Major just reacted completely perfectly to it and got a really nice mine shot. But the opening itself only killed 2 workers, and he lost 2 mines. It wasn't ideal, so we'll see if he can maybe do something a little bit better this time around. As Reaper back in towards the main, just trying to be annoying again, picking away at a couple of probes, and there's the Twilight Council as the start of the tech tree from Lilbow, which is fairly standard, I would say, nowadays. Just go straight into Blink early on.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of my old experiences with my old Terran experiences of Blink All-ins kind of striking me there initially. But you are right. That's actually going fast Blink into a Robo. It's actually a pretty or very common opener nowadays. So it should probably just be for like a safe opener going into the
Reaper scouts this.
Yeah.
The Reaper scouts this. I mean, he should be prepared, should know what's up. Of course, the one scary thing for Lilbow is he doesn't have detection, which he really will need against the mines. So, see when he gets that Robo Facility, Blink starts up. I mean, he can still go all in from this point, but it's just way more common. I mean, it's an okay map to do it on as well, but it's way more common to just see kind of just a few Stalkers to pressure with, and then just from there, just the Robo Facility, Robo Bay, and it's such a strong mid game because you can deflect the drops. Your Corsair are really safe against Vikings because you can blink forward, snipe a Viking or 2 as well if your control's good. So it's just a really safe way to open, I think. Because again, though, no detection right now. As first mine is out, second mine about to join it with a medevac. So they're going to be heading across the map here very shortly. As the first few Marines are also heading across right now.
Yeah, it's going to be annoying here going for the Twilight before the Robo. This Robo is pretty late. I mean, yeah, like you kind of said, it's a normal way to play, but versus Widowmine drops, I'm not sure how this is going to play out because he's not really going to be able to, snipe the medevac or anything. The blink is, not going to be finished, and there's not going to be that many stalkers.
I think it's very much going to be a case of he has to duck the first 2 shots, and then the observer should just about be out in time to clean the mines up. Otherwise, he might take another couple of shots, but at least he'll know where the mines are, presumably. So he should be able to kind of shut them down. So let's see what happens. We see the medevac going in towards the natural right now, and is Lilbow paying attention. He is going to pull them away very quickly. The probes, that is, and only a couple of kills, so not thinking too much just yet as Marines walk straight past the Stalker into the main.
It's one, it's kind of nice, but there's 3 Stalkers here, that's easily enough here. With the MajOr core as well.
I mean, the Marine comes in.
He's gonna lose it, that's before the second charge. Big deal.
He's going to be able to turn the medevac around though, which means he's actually going to be able to kill off all of these Marines, which is kind of nice. He loses a couple of Stalkers though, so overall. So that's not great. The mines get cleaned up by the photon overcharge, the observer gets over there. I mean, usually I don't really like the Marines moving across the map against Blink Stalkers, because there's going to be Stalkers out already, right? So you generally just have enough to deflect the Marines, but that actually worked out quite well getting the mothership core. I think if the first Stalker didn't die on the ramp, it would have been a much different scenario. I think the medevac maybe just comes in and tries to save the Marines, pick them up and get out of there, but not quite the case that time.
Yeah, bit of a slow reaction there from Lilbow, but of course he was preoccupied with the mines at the same time, have to keep that in mind. So yeah, losing the mothership core sucks, but of course, when you kill that many Marines, I don't think it matters that much losing the mothership core. It's just the kind of gas that you don't really want to spend on it. Oh, wouldn't mind.
He's already
that many again, and he blinks. Oh, barely doesn't get the medevac.
Oh, he just does at the end. Or just though. So, I mean, again, 3 workers to kill 2 mines and the medevac is kind of nice. The medevac, the most important thing there. Because mines aren't really going to be... You know, mines are okay throughout the game, but they're pretty cheap. The medevac going down is the big factor, because you want to keep the medevacs alive, because you want to build your medevac count up, right? Because later in the game, you want to be making Vikings, not medevacs. Whereas, you know, if you lose your medevacs, you have to make another round of another round of medevacs, then the Vikings, and that opens you up to being a bit weak sometimes, so... not nice to lose the medevacs, but you only lost 1 of the 2, so it's not the end of the world right now. Is that another one moving out? No, it's just a Marine moving up the right-hand side of the map, as 3rd base is on the way down here for MajOr in position, and double forge for Lilbow, so really just going to power up on these 2 bases before taking his 3rd.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about that, because I kind of feel like in the early game, sure you lost the mothership core, but killing that many units in the early game, I kind of feel like that should make it possible to kind of take a really fast 3rd, but I guess he's just gonna kind of wait for this medevac aggression, defend that, and then take the 3rd with really good upgrades. Just kind of personal preference, I'd imagine. So he's gonna be defensive for now, kind of boosting those forges and the Colossi. He's gonna have 2 Colossi now.
There's another gateway. There's another gateway. He's only on 4 gates right now. Pops the phone overcharge at the main base here, just really doesn't want to lose that Colossus as Stalkers blink back as well. Looks as though a couple of medevacs just turning around as well, so they just move away from the natural, not going to actually commit in here. And not going to get too much done at all then, MajOr. As he actually loads up another medevac here, I'll join up with the first 2. I might try and go for kind of a mini doom drop into towards the natural, so 3rd base will drop down now for a little bit, so, you know, exactly as you said, just take that 3rd base after deflecting the initial aggression. And, you know, just with really good upgrades, because again, that 1-1's over halfway done. He already has Twilight, so he'll go straight into +2/+2. And I mean, MajOr only just has +1 finishing, so he's really going to take that upgrade lead.
Yeah, that's my frame. His 3rd it's not terribly late. This is completely fine for Lilbow, it feels like. And those 3 medevacs, they are actually going to try and go for it. I was thinking he's just going to keep them there for a while, and he is actually keeping them there, but luckily for Lilbow, it's straight on top of that observer, so he knows about them big time. There's even a 2nd observer there just to be sure that nothing sneaks past. Good coverage there by Lilbow.
I think it's so important on this map because that natural is the only kind of negative factor of that map. It's so droppable, and as well, his forges are actually in a really bad position for drops.
That's true.
Really bad, but really nice playing forward. If he targeted one of the front medevacs there, he might have been able to get it, but just not quite able to. But yeah, I mean, he turns us away, sees it loading. Oh, nice scan.
Yeah, good thinking there.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like a standard PvT right now. Like, MajOr's really far ahead on supply because he doesn't have as amazing, you know, because Lilbow's really been powering into tech. But, you know, overall, it's a fairly even game. We're seeing 70 SCVs against 62 probes. It doesn't help if you lift your third CC for no reason, but oh well, he
Was it
hasn't realized it
misplaced?
either. That's
Maybe it was
no, I don't think
misplaced,
so.
or maybe. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
think so. I
maybe
think it
not.
was in place. I think
I
Lilbow
was
even
looking in the
confused
main
'cause he-
there for a sec.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
sorry.
Lilbow was even confused because he actually clicked on the command center with his because he has vision.
Oh, yeah.
So he actually clicked on the command center like, what are you doing? Like, is this like an SCV pull with a command center too? Like reinforce SCVs as you go or something? I don't know. But yeah,
Lift all three at the same time. That happens to me sometimes.
yeah. That's like the worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Okay, we got 4
And then your
Colossi here.
SCVs like running over.
Yeah.
The Vikings are going to start moving towards you. First Colossus was very quick, but then the Stalkers will take down that Viking count very quickly. And you can just see, I mean, without SCVs, there's kind of a lot of Colossi left over, and there's not much bio, and this is just completely kind of crushing. Like, he's going to lose this another Colossus, but it's just not enough, right? Like, every single Viking goes down, apart from that one, which is maybe going to kill another Colossus. Okay, that was unexpected.
Yeah, the upgrades were even there, but there was just too much splash and not enough counters to the splash, right? There was a lot of medivacs, not that many Vikings relative to the Colossi count. They didn't fall quickly enough, the Colossi, so the buyer just kind of melted to the lasers.
I think if he SCV pulls there, he actually wins the game because it was kind of really close because there's only there's only really 2 Colossi left at the end. I think he probably has enough bio to kind of stim forward and take out the rest of it in that position. I think Lilbow needs to be very careful being in this forward position right now because there's only 1 Colossus, which isn't scary. There's a second one coming across, but 5 Vikings should be enough. I mean, again, the upgrades are the scary thing, but there's not really any Zealots to actually tank right now, so I guess that's what he's going to warp in next, but he has to be very careful until they get there.
He does have some gateways finishing now at the third base, 3 gateways, and he is still on like 5 gases. So it feels like he will like commit here. We'll have to see if it turns out like the game with Catalina, where he's a bit too over aggressive maybe.
Yeah, I think it's hard to be though on this third base because it's all flat ground, so it's not like he's going to run into a choke or anything. But still, I mean, he's still run into a defensive position of MajOr. Does this army going to go over to the right a little bit? Yeah, that 2-2 is big. +2 is about to finish for MajOr on the weapons, but that +2 armor quite a way away. Now this MajOr's looking for the fight. He's actually going to move forwards here. And only 2 Colossi again.
Yeah,
that's not very much splash damage. They go down very quickly.
Good force fields though. A lot of bio actually getting ripped to pieces by these Zealots, and that like too much.
I think MajOr just lost a little bit too much the first time around. Even though you can take down the Colossi very quickly in that fight, it's just not enough to kind of keep going. You know, if Lilbow goes, yeah, I mean, obviously it's a completely different game if MajOr doesn't go for that fight, but it's just not the best fight to go for. And Lilbow goes 2-1 up now in this best of 7. So looking good for Lilbow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what made MajOr feel like coming, because he must have scanned the army before he went for that engagement. And that first engagement just went horribly for him. So I'm not sure what kind of prompted him to just go for it. If you compare the Viking count to the Colossi count, you should be able to figure out that that might not be the best idea. Even with the similar upgrades and up in army supply, you need those counters ready for engagements like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright,
we're heading over. We're heading over to Europe again, I think.
Yeah.
So back over to EU as we get ready to go into our next game here. And yeah, see how this is going to go. See if MajOr's going to be able to tie up the series. I think it's loser's pick, so I guess it's MajOr's map pick now. That last map was MajOr's map pick as well, though. But he still has some nice maps in the map pool. I think Secret Spring is pretty nice for Terran against Protoss.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of a weird one. It kind of goes both ways. I think very early game is really good for Protoss, but as the game goes on, it's really good for Terran. So it's going to be Overgrowth next, which is a very standard map. Some players say that late game TVP on Overgrowth is pretty Protoss favored, but we'll see if MajOr lets it get to that point. I think that's very much just because it's a narrow map. You can't really drop on it, and you're basically always attacking in one direction. So it's very, it's very much so. You have your Protoss army, you defend, you win the game. It's kind of hard to make anything happen, but of course, we'll see what does happen here as we get ready to go.
Yeah, it's just not a bad map for Protoss, and If you know, you can get that third base nice and comfortably, and you can hold the gold base on the high ground with cannons, things like that, get in a nice position as the Protoss player. But a bit surprising to me that MajOr picks. Like, I guess they're going to be playing most maps anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. But I feel like there's some pretty open maps, or a few maps where the third is pretty far away for the Protoss. So a little bit surprising to me. Maybe he's just comfortable on the map in general. It's a pretty normal map. It kind of reminds me of Overgrowth, Vanny does. It's just kind of straightforward.
It reminds you of what?
I was saying Vanny kind of reminds me of Overgrowth.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Kind of straightforward map.
Yeah, straightforward map. It's very similarly shaped as well, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of, if you like really try and look at it, it's kind of got the same setup of bases, kind of.
Yeah,
maybe in a way.
It's similar.
But yeah, to some extent. So we're going in game, and I believe we're. I don't know who we're introducing first because my camera's not working, so that's awkward. I think I've introduced MajOr first. So in the lower left corner of the map, we have our blue Terran player. It is MajOr.
In the top right of Overgrowth, we've got our red Protoss player up 2-1, I think, playing for Team Millennium. It is Lilbow.
Yeah, so up 2-1.
Yeah.
As I pull my headphones out, that's not going to help me hear anything. There we go. I always do that. I always sit funny and then I pull my leg down to put it on the floor and like pull my headphones out. It really hurts.
Right, okay.
But yeah, MajOr is checking for proxies once again here. Looks as though he's probably just gonna CC first, actually.
Yeah, so is Lilbow. They're actually both a little bit paranoid.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting actually, because I mean, while Overgrowth is definitely a map you can proxy on, it's not really a map you see people scout super early on just to make sure every time. I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, just both players being safe. I mean, it's definitely important for MajOr because he goes CC first here.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice for Lilbow with this SCV already, with this probe already coming across the map. He can be a little bit annoying with this, so he can like attack the SCV, try and make it pull off with the command center and stuff. We'll see what happens.
With the map being Overgrowth and the distance, I mean, it's not that far. Is he gonna like? I don't know, how would that work? To just like chrono boost out a Zealot right now?
Chrono boost a Zealot? It can definitely happen. I remember back. I mean, we're talking way back, but like I remember MC at one point against. He's just gonna take the Nexus here. But I remember MC once. I think it was against MMA or someone. He like pulled like 5 probes and chrono boosted a Zealot and just like attacked it. Like it was like what? And it actually worked.
Okay.
I think the thing is Lilbow is just confident going into a macro game against MajOr, so he doesn't really see the need to kind of, to pressure it. I think he's just happy to kind of play against it, really.
And there's some risks to doing it as well. If the bunker is finished and there's one Marine in the bunker, that's enough to kind of put Lilbow a bit behind. And I kind of like this approach even more, actually, because what he does is he scouts the CC first, and then he reacts with the Nexus before the Cybercore, and he delayed his gas mining. He put 16 whackers on minerals, and he wasn't mining gas, and he just made the Nexus, and then he goes into gas later on and the Cybercore. So yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. They're going to be pretty even on macro here, so it's a good reaction there.
Yeah. Right, so let's see what happens. Cybernex we're going to finish up here for Lilbow in his main base, and we have a Nexus. Right, of course, about to finish up for him, so, I mean, the economy looking pretty good. And, yeah, so, MajOr's just died. I was about to say, he went a bit, quiet all of a sudden. So, yeah. MajOr is dead Reno. Oh, MajOr's back.
Oh crap, sorry. Damn, I don't know what happened.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Internet, man. It's okay. You didn't miss anything.
Okay. Just hate to cause lag for the players. But I think it should be okay.
Could have been out this time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay, I was saying right before I went out, actually chrono boosted Alpha Stalker. I wonder why he did that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because he... Yeah, I don't know if he's maybe afraid because Major goes into obviously goes into Marine production quite quickly here. I wonder if he's maybe slightly afraid of a quick push across the map with Marines, or something along those lines. Like,
Yeah, maybe
because I mean, he's already got
restock
kind of,
some-
yeah. Oh, he puts Dark Shrine down. That kind of, I guess that kind of makes a little bit more sense than Kurobi's Store, because he really wants to deny scouting and stuff. So maybe,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I guess it's just part of his. There must be a reason, but I really don't know.
Yeah,
But
not
Dark
like
Shrine,
usually.
so
This is kind of interesting. Yeah, Dark Shrine, SCV man, cheeky SCV, but there is a Mothership Grand Stalker in position right now, but he does not have his 4th gas. So if the SCV catches, okay, he actually takes it now as I say that. Otherwise, Major might smell something out, but he's just gonna camp there for a little while, similar to what he did on Deadwing, where he kind of sent the SCV in at a relatively late time to try and get some information. And he did go for the fast 3 Raxes again. He's making a tech lab and 2 reactors at the same time now. He did make a lot of Marines before kind of getting those add-ons and the refineries. There's the pylon down to the bottom.
SCV comes in and he sees a very late robo facility, and I mean, robo facility, even if it's just a straight blink opening, I feel as though the robo facility should be a little bit earlier than this. Maybe it's one of them things. It's kind of hard to say. So I don't know if Major's picked up on this. He's got an engineering bay just halfway done, and he scans in the main base and he sees a Twilight, research and blink.
This looks like normal blink play. Like it's like you said, if he can smell out the robo timing, I'm not sure. That's so hard to tell, man. I don't know if even Major can do that. He sees the DTs now, but he did not know about this, and it's going splitting things up a bit.
He definitely didn't know about it, because otherwise he wouldn't have moved out of the units. I don't think.
Right, exactly.
Kills the first one kind of okay, but now he doesn't have a scan or turret in the main to deal with the second one, and it's already on 5 kills, and he's just going to keep getting them. I mean, look, he's actually just going to surround the turret, but it's so far from being built. It's not like he started this he started this when the DT was killing SCVs. I mean, 12, 13, 14 workers. Like, I think it's at the point where you just run them to the natural instead, man. Like, and I mean, he's even going to move away here, so he's going to get away and at least force another scan. He's even going to find an SCV to the top side of the map. 16 kills.
16 kills. This is a disaster for Major, man. Oh my god, even gets clean. And there it goes down. Even the scan, man, that's 270 minerals.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's great.
Man.
I mean, he's forced 2 scans. He killed 20 workers. This is more than what you want to do with DTs, I think. Like,
yeah, man, this is crazy good. Even goes 2 forges now. I like that decision because when he's killed that many SCVs, all he has to do is kind of defend his 2 bases with a good economy, and he will be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just gonna make sure he gets even more ahead with those upgrades, not taking any risks with a fast 3rd base, just capitalize on the advantage with the upgrades and just trying to defend.
I'm surprised he didn't actually make a War Prism. He's made a lot of Observers because he really wants to make sure he doesn't die to drops or anything, but I'm surprised he just didn't Chrono Boost out a War Prism before the Colossus just to put a DT or so into the main base again, and just because even if he, as we actually have this army, going to be turned away here. Let's see how far Lilbow chases.
Oh,
okay,
that's
a
pretty big deal. Yeah, it's the blink.
That's pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, even with just a DT in the main, like, he's going to at least force a scan to stop depots, if Major doesn't want to lose depots and stuff, because there's only 1 turret in the mineral line, so he could do a lot with that. But just doesn't really feel like the opportunity is there, I suppose, so that maybe would have been nice, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I
agree with that. I guess he's kind of not part of his build order. He just wanted to focus on his defenses, but it feels like he could have put that into his build order. He did only make 2 observers, so there should definitely be time to get a War Prism in there before the Robo Bay finishes. So yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
If the production of the Terran does not line up properly, you can get actually quite a few SCV kills. But he's in a great position no matter what. So
I wonder if he just goes from 2 bases on here. I mean, he's I guess he's only got 2 Colossi, so probably not. He could maybe move across the map with this 3rd one and 1-1 finishing and try and get something done. Or, I mean, he can just as easily move towards his 3rd base and put that down as well. So, obviously it's safer to just take the 3rd base. You don't risk just losing because you tried an all-in and it fails. And he's going to clean that out. I think there's a probe over there as well. And there is. So, if 3rd base comes down, I mean, again, he's ahead, so he's just going to slowly keep on being ahead, basically.
Yeah, when ahead, get more ahead. Yeah, I like this, and also, of course, if you're gonna all in, you want that to be your game plan, right? You want to invest in that from the get-go, and getting those 2 forges and getting his pro count up to 53 would be one way to kind of throw away an advantage, right? So I do like that he's just taking it slow here. He's gonna have great upgrades, even charge on the way. get that third base down.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, 1-1 finishing, he's going to go straight into 2-2. Even as Zealot denying the third base of MajOr here is just, I mean, it's just so annoying. I mean, if you look at the vision of Lilbow as well, as he's even going to kill the CC!
Oh my god. Oh, that feel, man. You're already so broke from the DTs, and then you lose 450 minerals. Yeah, that's.
I have absolutely nothing to say. I'm like, and the thing is, Lilbow has such good map control. He's got Stalkers in position to deal with a Doom drop, and he's got vision through the middle of the map as well. So he's basically just saying, "I'm preparing for the drop, and if you go through the middle of the map, I'll change direction very quickly." And yeah, I mean, I don't know what MajOr can do. He really needs just a big drop to do something for him here. But I mean, it's just not going to happen. Like unless Lilbow just decides to kind of move all of his workers away. The third base again.
Really nice.
Oh,
that pylon placement, that's from the DTs earlier. The same pylon there doing some really good work for Lilbow. MajOr not kind of realizing where it was.
He snipes
That's something.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. I feel like that's something MajOr should have kind of started looking for a lot earlier, those pylons, because he did face a DT build. There's gonna be pylons out on the map if there was not a warp prism, so bit of a mistake there by him. And Lilbow again going for these five gases, not a sixth one. So I think he's gonna go for a 2-2 all in again. It's looking very similar to last game where he did exactly this: five gases, 2-2 on the way, and then he just makes a lot of gateways and goes for it. It's looking a lot like it.
He's making a lot of gateways right now, man. He's going up to 9 gates, and I mean, just consistent Colossus production. I mean, he's going up to his 5th Colossi now. I mean,
yeah.
MajOr's even moving through the middle of the map, but again, Lilbow sees it. So what can you do? And he sees only a part of the army, so he knows there's an army heading towards the main base and drops already, and that's what's that's exactly what's happening. It's heading straight towards the main base, and Stalker's in position. It's just not going to do anything at all.
Yeah, and MajOr again made quite a few medivacs, just like last game too. He's got 6 medivacs versus 5 Colossi. So not really optimal. He doesn't really have that many Vikings. He's got 6 now, which is not enough by far. And Lilbow did go for that 6th gas, so it looks like he's maybe just changed his mind. I'm not sure, because he was looking a lot like last game, and then he just kind of switched it up. At a kind of late time, is going for Twilight or Temple Archives now, and stop Colossi production.
I wonder if he's just afraid.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's just a little bit afraid of this army being split up from MajOr, and he just doesn't want to move across the map and then get Doom drop and enter a base trade, because that's one way MajOr probably can come back into the game. Whereas if he just sits back, gets Temple Archives and stuff, like, he just basically secures that Doom drop's not going to do anything. MajOr's going to come into the main base right now with this drop. Stalker's on all in position, but I mean, I think he's got enough here to basically shut this down, and yeah, with the Zealots swapping in as well, it's not even close.
Even a DT doing a lot of damage there, and oh my god,
feels everything better.
Oh my god, yeah, now Lilbow can just go for it. I think he realizes, starts moving across the map immediately with his army. He's got 3-3 on the way and Storm, so it's not really like he's making a good timing here, but it's just that kind of reaction to what just happened. Kill a lot of army, wants to kill his opponent, he's maxed, so he's just gonna go for it.
Zealots charging forward is gonna look to see what they can do. I mean, I mean, he's just gonna win the game. There's even Vikings out. Okay, there's 12 Vikings here. They're coming in from the natural, but I mean, 12 Vikings. There's like so many Colossi.
Before it goes down, there's no White Templars. I mean, it is looking really bad. 2-2 versus 1-1. 3-3 going to finish.
3-3 is going to be finished by. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see him wait for Storm in 3-3. Like, why not, right?
No, I agree. Like, he's gonna have 3-3 while MajOr's still on 1-1. Like, it's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is as well, Lilbow has such a big bank. He can just reinforce so heavily on, like, even just Mass Archon, because he will see that there's no ghosts, and like you need ghosts to kill Archons and such. So I mean, he's probably just gonna go for massive Archons as reinforcements, and that'll probably just be the game from there, I think. Let's see. I mean, second robot coming up as well, so he can reproduce Colossi nice. I mean, he's just setting up to basically make sure he doesn't lose at all.
Yeah.
There's a mine on this gold base,
solid
but hasn't done anything yet.
There's a lot of Vikings. He's going right now. He does have 3-3, so it is a strong timing. But yeah, no Archons, no High Templars. Might not matter though, with these Zealots being so incredibly strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything's finished here, so now's the time to fight, and MajOr a little bit moving forward a little bit. Still not, too eager to actually just straight up fight here. The Zelts are still ripping apart that third base. There's more and more Vikings coming out, and still we're just kind of sitting here waiting for Lilbow to decide to commit. Still just kind of posturing at the front. 3 Dark Templar coming into this third base. I mean, MajOr's just completely lost his mind on the third now, and that's not good because his main base is pretty much mined out.
Have to warm in a couple of seconds here with 3 high tempos just about to get 75 energy, and that's gonna be it, man. Oh my god.
South touch forwards. I mean, there's a lot of Vikings, but I mean, he can kill every single boss. So I don't think it matters. I think the Zealots can probably clean up the rest of this at this point. The upgrades are just so good in this matchup. Like, the Pros army is strong enough as it is, but when they have such a huge upgrade lead, I mean, it was only 3-3 against 2-2 at the end there, but like MajOr wasn't even maxed out, and that was it.
Yeah, when you are maxed out, upgrades do scale incredibly well. Yeah, so that's a very big deal. And is that 3-1?
3-1 for Lilbow right now.
Yeah.
So could be going into our last game.
It's a commanding lead.
I think it's really tough for MajOr to come back from this. I think. Like,
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking, he tried CC first, he tried the Widowmine drops, they didn't really work. He lost with CC first twice in a row now. What's left?
The thing is, anything.
On the map, I guess.
Lilbow is literally winning with anything he decides to do, basically. Like, he wins with DT drops. Yeah. Apart from the time he tried to all in with the Stargate. Like, but even then, like, he made a good game out of what should have been like an instant loss. Like, MajOr just doesn't seem to have a chance. Like, I don't want to be mean, but like, he just really seems to be lacking something right now against Lilbow. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he needs to change, but something is definitely missing for him right now.
Yeah. It's not easy. I mean, just flat out, Lilbow has a lot of skills. Of course, MajOr does as well, but.
I mean, Lilbow's so scary in PvT. Like, it was like a month ago. He took like 5 maps off of Pult in the Zotac finals or something. He just beat Jachi the other week in SC2ITL as well. I know that, and again, he's 5-0 against MajOr. But before today, he's 5-0 against MajOr in the past month, and 2-0 of that was today. So like today, he's taken 5 maps off of MajOr. Like I don't know, man. This is some pretty good PvT practice for MajOr, but he needs a bit more than PvT practice right now.
It is very impressive because I'm pretty sure PvC is Lilbow's best matchup.
Yeah, I think so
and
too.
Still doing so well versus Terran. Like, he's known for his PvC and still doing this well versus Terran. It's just, it's really, really impressive. Am I on the wrong server now, or?
Yeah, I think so. We just hopped to. I think we're on an A.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be secret. It's gonna be Secret Spring for our next map. And yeah, again, I feel like early game. This is such a good map for Protoss players. Because like you can even one base blink on this map is disgusting because there's so many places you can just jump into the main.
That's true.
Like, it kind of is a bit disgusting. But yeah, I mean, I think if you get up to 3 bases on this map, it's really good for Terran because, you said it in the TVZ, the 3rd base is so far away, the 4th base is pretty nasty as well. Like, it's a pretty nasty map, and drops can definitely excel in this, so we'll see what happens. And I mean, at the same time, though, I mean, it's hard to move through the middle of the map as the Terran player to actually finish, to end the game, because, you just walk into a Concave of Protoss and die, most likely, so it's a weird one, definitely. So let's see what happens. We're going to start in the upper right-hand corner with Lilbow, our blue Protoss player from Millennium.
And then bottom left of Secret Springs, we've got our red Terran player currently down 1-3 in this best of 7. He's going to have to pull some magic here to bring this series back. Currently teamless, it is MajOr. Yeah, so I don't think Lilbow is gonna wanna macro on this map. It's just pretty much how it is, right? I think he wants to do something on 1 or 2 bases here for sure.
I think what can work really well is some kind of immortal push or some kind of 2-base Colossus play, something like that.
Yeah, maybe
so something like that on 2 bases, I think.
Yeah, I kind of like the sound of it between those two, the Colossi push, because of course that ramp going into the main of the Terran is very small. So, but maybe
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Blink. I've seen Lilbow do Blink Colossal, and I've seen him win. I don't know who he was against a pretty good Terran on Catalina, where he went for a Blink Colossal Island with no sentries. And the Terran just bunkers up massively at the natural, and then he just walks the Colossi up into the main and blinks into the main.
Yeah, that was the Team League game against My Insanity when he beat Jachi.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
It was on
possible.
when
Or maybe he's done it
Jachi
multiple
was-
times, because
Maybe.
I think he just likes
Jachi
to
was in
do
the top
that.
right. I think Jachi was in the top right or something. It was exactly as it's
Yeah, I
described.
think that was it. Yeah, that sounds familiar. So
But
Um,
I guess he's probably done it a few times. It's pretty abusable build actually.
yeah, it's
like-
pretty good. So that's
like,
one
you
thing
kind
you
of
could do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely possible on this map. I mean, he's got like 3 different points you can kind of blink up in, like at the back, at this kind of side of the front, or actually just at the front. So it's very you kind of have to have like concave bunkers to defend all the possible locations.
Yeah.
So yeah, see what happens. I mean, Major just scouting here, Reaper for him to start things off. And for now, Lilbow just looks to be heading towards his Nexus very soon. I mean, he's probably did he just cancel his. He doesn't have his out on the way, which is actually a bit problematic because there's an SCV going to block him now.
Yeah,
A
starts
couple of
now.
probes built though. Okay,
Yeah.
he's not going to block, so that's okay.
So make sure that doesn't happen. Pull those probes pretty early. Maybe Major would have done the block if there weren't 2 probes there so quickly. And okay, I was gonna say that Major is already changing it up because when we've seen him go Reaper, both games that he did that, he has gone into a factory after that. And I saw him mining 2 workers on the gas for a short while, but now he's back on 3. So it looks like he's gonna be going for the factory again now after placing that command center down. So again, gonna be going for that. Even though he gets the 1 pro, that's nice. Despite the Widowmines not really having accomplished much in the previous games, he's still gonna go for it. Of course, again, there is the potential of going down as well if he so desires, but feels like it's gonna be Widowmines. I guess last time it wasn't so bad, but that's kind of because the Robo was not that quick as well. But it wasn't really successful though.
I think it's so. I think I kind of like it because I think again on this map, aggression is definitely a thing, and if you see aggression coming early enough, you can make some tanks. And while tanks aren't great in TVP early game, they're brilliant if your opponent's trying to kill you. So it gives you a lot of defensive possibilities, even with just mines as well. So I kind of like it. I think it's okay. I mean, it'd be nice if you could finally get some damage done though. That would be nice.
Yeah, like if you don't accomplish anything, it's like kind of feels like you might as well not have done it in the first place, right? Like having the factory, I guess, is nice for tanks, but if you're investing so much into Widowmine drops and it doesn't actually do anything, then
yeah, definitely. I think one of the
We'll see
problems
how
is
it goes.
he keeps dropping like 2 mines in the same place, and they're completely disconnected from like the marines and everything. So it's very much so like all Lilbow has to do is pull probes, probably throw an overcharge down, get the observing place, and he's pretty much held on. So I'd like to maybe see just like maybe either drop 2 mines in 2 different mineral lines, or just attack with the marines and the mines at the same time. Maybe try and take control of the ramp area or something. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard on this map as Reaper goes down there in the end.
He did kill 3 probes though. That's not too bad at all. And
good.
did he see the Twilight? No, he did not. So that's one thing he did not get out of that Reaper. And Blink is on the way, but 3 gases should be this kind of into macro play again.
I think he didn't see the Twilight, but I think he saw 2 Stalkers, and to see 2 Stalkers so early on is most of the time going to lead into Blink. I mean, not always, but I think any kind of heavy, like, early Stalker play is pretty much a Blink play from Terran. Because otherwise you just kind of get a Sentry instead, and you get your Force Field energy up to Force Field your ramp and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe
Maybe he smells it out. Yeah, going for the drop now. Marines staying at home. Yeah, he's bringing 4 in this medevac, but the rest of them, there's 6 just standing at the ram. Maybe he's worried about something, I'm not sure. Adding on 2 barracks right now. Adding on more Widowmines and 1 more medevac. So he's going to be going for a second drop after this. And the Robo is almost finished, so Widowmine's going to be fine.
Don't drop over here, and Lilbow gonna have to pull his probes away. Start splitting. That's actually. Oh no, the first mine hit. Oh, the second mine hit's okay. Only 2.
2 probes. Oh my god. You could have
And
done
that,
it like
first mine hit.
that first Widowmine.
Yeah, I know. And then it goes into the gas. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So again, just not doing much here. As Observer comes into play somewhere in a to be overhead there is, and mines are going to go down. Man, so again, he just doesn't really get much done. Now, second drops also come across the map, but I feel as though Lilbow's pretty well prepared for this. I mean, there's only 3 Marines, another 2 mines, but he's going to have Blink, or he's going to be very close to having Blink, so he's going to be able to turn the medevac away at least, and I mean, he's got an Observer out. If he can defend that first drop, he should be able to defend this one.
Yeah, and yeah, Blink will be finished actually, just barely in time, I think. 2 seconds away. Should be able to kill off the medevac maybe. Finish it now. And he does get the mine. That was really close.
He gets both of them. Wow.
Oh,
That's really nice. I think that's even better than not getting the medevac, because now I mean he takes absolutely no damage. And medevac's actually still there. It's just out of range. So it's actually trapped. It can't really get out. It could maybe boost through and get something done. This one Stalker finally kills off that Marine, which was working its way against the Siren X core. But just a double forge for Lilbow, so I mean, just going into double forge quite quick. As the drop comes back into the main base, but that medevac does go down.
Yeah, that was a lot of Marines as well. That was like a full medevac, or like 7 Marines in that medevac. That's another pretty big loss. Just everything is just going wrong time and time again for MajOr. And looking at Lilbow's play, it's a little bit surprising. I saw him cutting probes for a short while early on, and I was like, oh, is he actually going to go for the Blink Colossi, despite going for like Observer and stuff? But no, he does resume probe production, and he does add on 2 forges, getting 1-1 right now. So he is looking for this 3-base play. He's still making probes. You know, he wouldn't be making those probes if he was going to go for a 2-base play, and especially with those forges, he will be aiming for that. Maybe he's going to be taking the one beneath his main. I guess that would make the most sense. I'm not really experienced as a Protoss player on this map, but
I think it's better
feels like
to
that
take
would
the
be
one
easier to
beneath your main.
defend.
Yeah, definitely. He sees with the Observer this army coming across here, and he knows where the army is. 1-1's about halfway done for him. Stim's about to finish. I don't think there's nothing MajOr can really do right now. He sends a mine over towards the upper third base, I think, is where that's going. So he's going to try and block that there while he positions his army down towards the southern one. But I mean, Lilbow's just going to wait a little while. He's not in a rush. You know, he's defending the early aggression. He's just going to wait, get that going a little bit. Blinks a couple of Stalkers down, kills that Marine, and back at home, MajOr +1 finishing. Command center halfway done. Just getting set up himself for kind of the mid game here, but I mean, we've seen him be in this kind of position before, and he's just not been able to make anything happen with it as a poor Marauder, just being sent on move command into 2 Stalkers.
Yeah, seeing
even...
that. Sorry, yeah, go on.
He just scanned in the middle of the map and he didn't even get the Observer that was there, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's actually pretty painful. It's 270 minerals. Could have been making units with, but yeah, the third base for MajOr is at a pretty early time, but it's a little bit deceiving in terms of where the game is because of how ahead Lilbow is on upgrades charge and 2-2 on the way, whereas +1 armor just starts now for MajOr with only 1 eBay on the field. So in terms of tech, MajOr is so far behind. This third base won't get him into a favorable position still. Lilbow does go for the top base actually. Looks like that Widowmine.
Yeah, because it didn't do much, just a bit of splash more than anything. We've got 4 medevacs heading to the top side of the map, and
it's getting interesting.
Lilbow hasn't placed that third base just yet, so there's nothing really for MajOr to kill there, but he could definitely go in towards the natural, and Lilbow is really kind of not in position to deal with anything like that, so it's kind of annoying, but he finds some units down here, and he will engage against this. MajOr probably doesn't actually want to take that fight, but he's losing so much, but he does have that big drop into the main.
Here we go.
Naturally. Ooh,
Go for the
wow,
next.
I
Oh,
like it.
that's a nice recall.
That's such a good like.
Yeah,
Like-
there's a lot of potential threats. The Nexus, the Robo Facility, the Forges, a lot of potential targets there to go for MajOr. But yeah, the recall goes down. But yeah, Lilbow has to get his third base down pretty soon, or he's gonna fall behind a lot, you know. Supply. At least he's been trading well, so the fact that MajOr has a third is not going to be that bad for Lilbow because it's been cost effective. So I guess it's okay.
Lilbow just tried to take the third south of his main, but the Marine there killed the probe, so he's been denied that right now.
Yeah, good job.
He's supply blocked really badly as well right now, so MajOr's actually really starting to take a bit of a foothold in this game, but he himself has forgotten his armory and his second engineering base, so that's really slowing down his own 2-2, which is the last thing you need, because the one thing keeping Lilbow in the game is his upgrade lead, so the last thing you really want to do is the Terrans, you know, let him take even more of an advantage in that. As that one Marine's still just sitting there, but no further probes being sent out just yet. I wonder if Lilbow just moves across the map and just tries to kill him on 2 bases.
I can't get my third down. What's going on? It looked like he might do it because he has a lot of probes. And he wanted to go for that third, but he's not really been able to do it yet. So yeah, he might just attack.
He's going to put his third base down. But,
okay.
I don't know. Like I don't know if he just wants to try and fight still. He's sitting in the middle of the map, and this army from the Terran is going to run into him. Which is, again, annoying, but there's a big drop over to the top side as well. Ooh, Smazzel's getting caught in the rocks there. That's a little bit frustrating. A big drop loads up. We'll go towards the natural, but Stalkers are waiting there as well, so I mean, again, Lilbow's going to turn this around.
Season. Does not go full corner into those.
But that's like, what, like 4 medevacs full of units? It's like 40-ish supply of units, which aren't here to defend. But killing the rocks buys them some time. Buys him a lot of time, actually. And that's a lot of Stalkers back at home for Lilbow. He's starting to pull them forwards now. There's not that many Vikings, though, is there? There's only 8 Vikings. There's not that many. But of course, there's a lot of Stalkers out of position.
9 plus side 2 versus 1 1. Oh, nice. He's gonna try and kill off those mines before the engagement starts. Vikings, though, getting some hot shots, though. One very low cross. No time warp.
No, nothing going down yet. Also, Lilbow, he just. I think this is game over. I mean, they're just going to stim in from all angles. This is actually crushing. The rest of the Stalkers just coming through the middle of the map now, but it's way too late. And Lilbow being a little bit too aggressive there in the end. And I think that was pretty much a perfect execution from MajOr on why Secret Spring is terrible for Protoss players as the game goes on. Like.
Yeah, that was well abused.
Yeah, it's man, I really dislike this map. Like I was saying it earlier in the first series of the day, but like there's some maps which are different, but they give you good games, or they give you different games, but they're not completely broken. Whereas this, like I'm yet to see a game which is different, but not because one race is just completely destroying because they have like a completely unfair advantage. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, like Expedition Lost, for instance. I feel like that can make some pretty interesting games, especially with the back rocks into the main and stuff like that. There's some crazy strats, and you know, it can be an entertaining map, in my opinion. But Secret Spring is it's really imbalanced. That third base is miles away, and there's so much potential for maybe Terran specifically to get a lot of control with Medimax and delaying third bases, both versus Zerg and Protoss on this map. So. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. There are some interesting ideas on the map with a lot of like rocks and stuff like that, but some features just makes it.
I think it's just like it's the combination of having a crap third base, but also like the inability to ever attack with the rocks as well, like and with that massive like. And then, like, there's golds as well, just in case there's not enough to abuse. You can just, well, let's just take a gold or something, like. Yeah, I think there's a bit. I think it's just.
Let's go.
I think there's just a little bit too much. But yeah, we're going into Expedition Lost, which we were just talking about. Them back rocks could make for something a little bit interesting here. So we shall see. We're going in game as this is game number 6. So series is starting to go the distance. Here in Team Gravity Fight Night, of course, a weekly show match series by Team Gravity, sponsored by Hitbox TV. Worth mentioning, haven't said that for a little while, so thank you, Hitbox, for giving us games.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah. Cool, let's go in game. I'll let you start the introductions.
Okay, in the bottom left, we've got our red Protoss player playing for Team Millennium. Up 3-2, it is Lilbow.
And in the upper right-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player from no team currently. It is MajOr. MajOr got knocked out of WCS, right? He
yes.
In Premier League the other day. He lost to Bunny, then to Violet. But very close games, actually.
Yes, that's right.
I'm told.
Right.
I didn't quite get to catch it because I was at LAN and the internet was crap.
Okay. Yeah, I caught it. It was close games. Yeah, could have gone either way. Literally, in the first series against Bunny, he was like 40 supply up, and he's like had tanks in a really good position just outside Bunny's base, like hitting some stuff, and Bunny was like, he was looking really bad, and then Bunny sent out 2 Banshees at like a relatively kind of want to say
Random
random
time.
time, but not at a time
Yeah.
where you'd expect it. So there was no turrets out.
Oh,
it was not,
and he killed
not
like
his
40
actual
workers or
opener.
something.
Yeah, man, he killed
Yeah.
so many workers, and he
I
got the
actually
win
remember.
to 2-1. So that MajOr might as well have won that game, and then it would have been a completely different situation of course, in terms of how the group could have gone. But yeah, he lost that. Bunny with a pretty big comeback, and then you barely lost to Milet as well. Some close games, so kind of unfortunate. MajOr is really good, but so is Bunny
Right.
and Milet.
Yeah, man.
But okay.
Group F, I think.
Yeah, it's that for sure.
Alright,
Looking
so,
pretty normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. Nothing really too crazy going on here initially. Yeah, both players scouting with their initial workers.
Actually,
just
Marine.
just being safe. Oh yeah, Marine. What? Oh, this
So
wasn't a
it's like a,
this wasn't a 12 gas. This was a 13 gas, I think.
Yeah, right. So actually goes for 2 Marines.
Was it a 15 gas? No, it wasn't a 15. It might
No,
have been a 15.
yeah. No,
I
it's
think
got 6
it's
gas
a
already.
13.
That has to have been
That's a 13.
13 gas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, there's just gonna be a reactor coming down and a factory to follow up
Okay.
quite quickly.
this
this-
Marine is so crazy. Is he gonna make an eBay?
I don't know, man.
He's so low already.
Even if he just blocks it for like a couple of seconds to get the Marine down.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he was trying to buy time for the Marine, but he's too late now.
yeah.
It's kind of
Still, I mean,
interesting.
nothing out. This one Marine is probably going to die and not do anything, but yeah, he's not going to commit up the ramp. I think that'd be a bit suicidal. I wonder if MajOr changes things up here and goes for maybe some Hellion play or something a little bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's opened mines so many times, and I mean, this can definitely lead into mines. But it could definitely be some kind of Hellion play as well. Something maybe if he just does want to change it up. Now that he's
that's not,
gone for
bad
mine
guess.
play so much.
Yeah, especially
So,
with
yeah.
going for the Marines, he's gonna have a slightly faster factory, right? So you might want to use that for something
Yeah.
a bit more kind of aggressive. Of course, Widowmines are aggressive too, but in a different ways. Hellions, you can go for some more early game multi-pronged attack, and Lilbow actually going for the Robo this game before the Twilight, changing it up a little bit also.
This is some really old school PvT, man. Like when do you, like it's like the most standard PvT build, just we never see it anymore. It's really far out of the meta, man. It's kind of crazy how hard it fell out. I wonder if he goes, on this map, immortal pushes are so good because of the back rocks. Then you need so many bunkers to be able to defend. So immortal pushes can be really powerful, and it's not necessarily going to be an immortal push, but it's definitely a possibility there. He's rallied for an observer right now, but we'll see if he maybe goes into a couple of immortals after, or if he's just going to drop the Robobay and play standard, which is of course pretty possible as well.
He could go actually 3 gateways. He's making an observer, but with 3
Is
gateways and a chrono boost, what is going on? Is he just scared? I think he's just scared, honestly.
MajOr's
going
gonna
to he's preparing for this aggression.
MajOr has a second gas, which is
Oh,
different.
Banshee follow-up? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, tanks, banshees are all possibilities. He could just straight up play mech if he wanted to.
He could.
Which yeah, I mean, he puts a tech lab straight down on the factory. I wonder if he just. I guess he could just go. Yeah, he builds a tech lab on the starboard too. This is.
Gonna be Banshee and
That's crazy.
tanks.
Oh my
he's
god! Look at this
walk?
MajOr.
Did he see this? What's going on? What?
I think he saw it with the Marine on the watchtower. He must have, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
this
I
is-
guess he maybe knows that this is something Lilbow likes to do or something, but I think he just saw it with the watchtower.
MajOr
He starts a
confirmed.
Raven. Wow. Starts a
yeah.
Raven. And there's immortals out of Lilbow. Wow, this is really weird.
It's, yeah, it is.
Not,
Okay.
Yeah.
Stops over here. Oh, has to focus fire? Yeah, it does do so. Drop in the natural as well. Big warp in though. Does have those 3 gateways, but he's gonna get a shut off on 2 probes. Not the
Okay, so, I
worst.
mean, he does a little bit of damage here, nothing too much. First of all, about to pop out, and he's going to chrono boost out a second one, so there's still a possibility that he tries to bust this with 2 immortals. And I wonder if, I mean, I wonder if these guys have played before, and maybe this is something Lilbow's done before, or maybe it's something Major's done before, and they're both trying to just react to each other or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, it's hard to know which way around it is because the Immortals could definitely be just a reaction to the tanks. I think they're a bit too late to be kind of to just all in with. This is weird. Third CC for Major as well. As that Raven is going to spot the Observer here, which is going to be a nice pickup.
Oh, nice. This is such a weird clash of builds. But I mean, in the mid game as a Terran player, I guess there's the argument that he could go mech, but unless, if he's not going to go mech, this has to be an all-in build, right? He's making a 3rd CC now, so maybe, I guess it is a mech build. Yeah.
I mean, unless it's just defensive tanks to help him hold on these 2 bases, and then into bio, like, but that's, I just don't see that because Stim's so late and you upgrade, like, it just doesn't really make sense. So it's almost definitely mech, and
he doesn't really know about it either. He's just seeing it now with the minimap.
This is so I mean this is gonna in the end be the more bust from Lilbow.
Yeah.
Coming a bit later than I thought it would. Lilbow doesn't really know I mean the thing is that the tanks still, like, it's so hard to position them correctly, right? Like you can come towards the back rocks now, but then Lilbow's just gonna turn around, go towards the natural, and needs to move away.
That's a pretty big deal. Those hardened shields, man, are important.
I guess he really just wanted to take the rocks down so he can, next time he moves over here, he can just go straight up there or something. Major positioned not really too well to defend the natural right now. That one tank that is, the tanks are just siege to kind of defend the ramp, but he could easily walk up into the natural, which is what he's going to do.
Yeah, he just sieged up those 2 tanks kind of far back. I don't know why he did that, honestly. What are they going to do over there? He has to move forward with this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree. Well, that's disgusting. I mean, the tank's just not in range. Like you can even maybe kill the command center here. Depends how soon Major lifts as he sends the hallucinated Phoenix forwards. Tries to see the setup of his opponent. Just pops the Guardian Shield. He's going to move forwards into this. I'm not too sure about running into the 4 times, but he has the Warpers in the main base, picking up tanks from behind. This is such a good. Oh, this is actually sick by Lilbow. He's going to get all of these, and well, there's nothing left for Major in the natural, and that is game.
Oh
wow.
Man, that was not close.
I was out of nowhere. I was kind of thinking, like, where are the Immortals? Like, are they just scared to come up the ramp because, like, there's so many Stalkers there already and, like, they can't fit up? But then they come in the Warp Prism at, like, the last moment. It was like, wow. Crazy, crazy stuff. Really well played by,
It's
really well played by, yeah, definitely.
That's actually a bit of deja vu for me from a GSL game from a while back where it was some Aura Growth and the turn went tanks and the Protoss did the exact same thing. War Prism dropped
really?
on top of the tanks, and then the Terran just died. So, kind of interesting. I can't believe Major was going for mech, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I think Expedition Lot's a really good map for mech, though, because, like, if you take the base, like, above or below your main, you can hold 3 bases, 4 bases so easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously you have to get to that point.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
so
congrats, Lilbow, man. That's it, right? 4-2.
Yeah, that's it. He wins 4-2, which is, I mean, pretty good going by Major considering coming into this he's been 5-0 against Lilbow before.
It's better.
But yeah, he put up a good fight. But congrats to Lilbow. Thank you to Gravity and Hitbox for putting up the show. I'm pretty sure that they're back next week with another set of show matches, 2 best of 5s and a best of 7s. So make sure you follow the Hitbox channel also to see when they go live, and keep your eyes out on Reddit and stuff, and spread the word. Yeah, check out the Gravity social media, which is kind of down at the bottom of the screen as well. Yeah, and I'm sure any shoutouts, go for it, I guess.
Okay, well, yeah, just shout out to my team and shout out to Gravity for hosting the show matches. It's just a lot of fun. Huh? I really like competing, and there's a lot of high caliber players playing, so it's really fun to watch.